Hello and welcome to Be Powerful with Liz and Lee. It's a new day and we're so glad you're here.
So you can expect to hear candid conversations on what it means to be powerful. Live authentically, live in the midst of ups and downs, productively, and above all else, joyfully.
We are so thankful for you, our community of listeners, and we hope you enjoy today's show. Ooh, we got it.
We're here. We're back.
We're back. Hi, everybody. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Lee.
Welcome
Happy
back to the podcast.
2024.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's a new year. So what's new?
Well,
with
it's
you.
Cold and it's January and it's my favorite month. And I'm wearing blue so that all you can see is my face in this room today.
The blue room.
Yeah. Thanks. Who gave me this? Alila?
I believe that shirt is from Alala.
Alala.
Yes.
Our friend.
Rep
Our friend.
sent you that.
She did.
It's nice.
It's a
cozy.
washable, cozy cashmere turtleneck.
Maybe bring that up into the studio.
Yeah, we might. So yeah, I'm
No, but
excited to be back.
it's a new year. What is new with you? Anything?
God, name it. It's busy.
Everything's new.
Usually, I remember January used to be my calm, let's just read books and stay
Right.
warm and cozy by the fire month. And it is like hit the ground running, all those things going on with articles coming back out lately about well and good and eat this, not that. So I'm excited about that.
Good.
All the goodies that I eat and all our workouts we do.
I wouldn't
And
say
then-
goodies that you eat.
Well, they are goodies. It's healthy food.
Well, true.
We're talking about healthy food. And I was writing today that's going to come out on Sunday in the blog about the fact
Monday.
that, and that's right, on Monday, my blog comes out. And I'm going to put that article in there
Okay.
about how the food I was talking about in this article on Eat This, Not That is really my tasty food.
Right.
You know, it's not like, oh, I eat this because I want to be healthy. I eat this because I really like it.
But you've trained yourself to that. I mean, it's like
Exactly.
any other thing. It makes you feel good, so it tastes good.
Exactly. And
That
that's,
doesn't have to be boring.
and I feel like if I could be completely honest with people, like I grew up on sugar and loved sugar and all these good things. But when I kind of, sort of asked myself to really branch out and get outside my own nutritional box, I learned to like foods I thought I'd never love. And I not just like them, I love them. And now I get to be with you.
Now
and
I
you get to
cook your good
everything.
foods.
Yes.
Isn't that great? Something came up the other day. We were talking about bologna. I mean, we certainly didn't have
yeah.
it. But remember the bologna days?
Yeah. Bologna sandwiches, mayonnaise on white bread with bologna.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a go-to for me when I was like 6, 7, 8. Sneak into the house,
Because you were never allowed.
I was never
inside,
allowed in the house,
as it should be.
Right. I mean, I think this would be a good idea for some parents to maybe engage this new 2024 idea of kids are not allowed in the house until it's time for food.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes if they have to go to the bathroom, most of the times they can hold it.
You can figure it out.
I honestly
go outside.
I really don't remember. It was like I had this housekeeper, and of course I wasn't wealthy, but everybody in Concord had a housekeeper, whether you're wealthy or not. And boy, it says a lot about Concord. Anyway,
Most cities at the time.
she was like, "You are not coming in this house. Do not cross that threshold. I have just swept this, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff about what I could not do. So I used to sneak into my own house to get donuts." It was
That's
great.
kind of funny.
Yeah. So anyway, I grew up perfectly normal. This should be a thing, right?
This should be a thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, times have
about-
changed a little bit. It's like everybody's doing these
Mhm.
ins and outs lists for the new year.
So
of
what's in? What's in?
So in would be locking your kids outside for fresh
Yeah.
air, and out would be like
not
screen time.
locking them, but like
Why not?
really having a like strong suggestion and possibly a guard at the door. I mean, why are they on their phones anyway, right? Or why are they just laying around anyway? Everybody wants to lay around if they can get away with it, but I couldn't get away with it. So I was like, which, if you do all the pieces together, brought me to where I am now.
Of course.
Exercise, because I was always moving and grooving and running around the neighborhood and trying to figure out things to do to entertain myself with my friends. So here we are,
Yeah.
60 years
We
later.
had to use the neighborhoods and our friends to entertain ourselves.
We
instead
did.
of our phones or whatever. Not
Yeah. So, okay. So in is you just said that.
get locked outside.
Okay, I like that. Let's start that trend. Lock your kids outside.
Someone's going to come after
They have
us
nice
somewhere.
coats, right? You give them
Well, I
some
guess
coats?
so, but it's funny because you were talking about how permeatingly cold it is.
It is
so
so
it feels
cold. I
feels
mean,
a little
I'm
wretched.
freezing. I'm freezing.
I mean, it never gets too cold here. So when it does get cold, we are big babies, and maybe we'll have
Yeah.
some frosty weather.
How are you feeling? Do you feel like, I mean, you're in a sweater.
I'm good. I mean, I took a shower, so I'm clean. I'm unshaven.
She's ahead of the game.
It's a time of year where it's like you want the hot shower on, but it's too hot and you're cold, so you stand in it too long, and then your skin's dry. It's perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
You look good.
So I'm great. I put on some of your makeup. It's a good
Thanks.
thing about being a lesbian that you have makeup and it's nice. But
We
I'm
have
like,
different
whoa! I
colors.
picked up one brush and it looked like I was putting war paint on. Like it was just heavy
You
in
look
the
good
bronzer.
though. My
but
stuff
it's
looks
okay.
good on you.
It's okay.
Mhm,
All
mhm,
right.
mhm.
Good. Well, my blemishes are on this side away from the camera,
Good.
so
So
I'm
just,
cool.
just keep turning toward me and you'll be good.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's good. I have no new news. I mean, as we both know, like you said, January is like
Huge.
gangbusters at the studio, long
Mhm.
wait list, which is fabulous.
Mhm.
I kind of reamed my class out at the beginning today. I was like,
Yeah.
y'all, if you haven't signed up, go to the front desk. And people were just clueless because people were in the hall who I knew
Yeah.
were on the list.
And
So
that's fine. We love
felt a
you
little
guys
rude,
that are
but-
just coming in.
yeah, no, I know. Come in. It's just wild. And your daughter called them tourists.
Yeah,
She was
Clary,
like, all the tourists
Clary comes
are in
up to me. She
today.
goes, "Hey, Mom, there's a lot of tourists in the building today." I thought that was excellent, and I hope you're not tourists. I hope you're coming to stay, and that you'll rent the apartment, and you'll enjoy your life with Hilliard Studio Method. It's a great city.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
mean, I think
lots of
that's really
entertainment.
where I keep going in the Januaries of each year is consistency,
Mhm.
right? So, I mean, I'm not a huge resolution maker. I, of course, think about what's going on, what some of my goals are, what's going well, what's not, but I'm
Mhm.
not so stringent on resolutions, more of consistency. And I
Right.
mean, I think that's just the key. Find something you love to do, be consistent with it so you're not a tourist. And obviously, life happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of these clients are not tourists. Everybody was sick over the winter, and now people are starting to come
And
out
they
of
were-
that, thankfully.
They had all their kids home, and
Right.
and your body doesn't know that it just turned January 1, but your mind knows it
I
turned
think it
January
knows.
1. Or maybe you're right, but if there is a delineation point where you go, I'm going to start what I've been meaning to do for the last year on this date, then yay, go you,
Mhm.
because we're there for you. And
Absolutely.
it's a great time to do that. And, don't be so hard on yourselves like, oh, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do this every single day. Come in, do it 3 or 4 times a week
Mhm.
and see how good you feel and talk to us because we're going to help you through it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm teaching a class and I'm not sure when
It'll come out after.
We don't even know when this is coming
Yeah,
out at
back
this
on
point.
schedule. What
We're back
schedule?
on schedule. But during January, we teach a couple of free classes.
Right. To new clients.
One of them I'm going to teach tomorrow. And it's always exciting
Mhm.
because they come up with some trepidation, I believe.
For sure.
And in some ways, rightly so, because it is a challenging workout.
Mhm.
But then, we bring them in, I bring them into the fold and I make them, I
You
rock them
lovely.
like a baby. And then I'll take the whip out. It's a lot of fun. I mean,
That's funny.
it is. I mean, I really do. To me, and I've said this when we have our new studio in Winston-Salem is just doing great. And I was up there this week teaching a class to them because they've started a January challenge. And I said, I want this to be the toughest part of your day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we say that all the time at Hilliard Studio Method here, because if you can do this challenge here with loving care, I mean, we're talking loving care.
Yep. At your
then
pace,
the rest
at
of the
your
day
level.
needs to be a piece of cake.
Right.
Seriously. So I do have goals for the new year. And one of my goals is that people start to appreciate and love their bodies. Like I really appreciate and love my body.
Mm-hmm.
And you do too. If we didn't, we could be laying around and hoping there's a magic pill.
Sure.
Which there is actually to lose weight. But, jury's out on all those kind of drugs that people are taking to lose weight. And recently I read that it reminded me here, it's not really that we need to lose weight as Americans. We need to build muscle as Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And then the weight will start to drop off. Then the Twinkies will look less exciting. Then the habits that are keeping us down and depressed and overweight and obese, you won't want those things so much. So we need to put on muscle. Strength training my number one thing for the new year is that every single
Yep.
one of you that are listening to us and every single one of your friends that you can talk to, you'll talk to them about a way to strength train. And that doesn't mean they have to go to Hilliard Studio Method. That means they have to do something that puts their body into a resistance situation. One of the best you could do would be a push-up or a squat, and just start doing them every day until you work your way up. So that's a good one for
That is a good one.
Yeah.
It is. It's just consistency and, thinking about, what people are trying to tackle. It is cyclical, right? I mean, kind of talking about the magic pill of weight loss. I mean, you've got to go hand in hand with what those habits you're creating in order to maintain, whatever health level you reach, whatever that means for you. If you need help, then you need to ask for help, whether or not it's a food addiction or a alcohol addiction or whatever else addiction. And if you're not finding a sense of moderation in your life, pick one, get help, and then just stay the course. Because you will see changes and those light bulbs will switch off and your body will start to crave good things, good people, good energy, positive things. And then you'll begin to put that out. And it's a real healing mentality.
Segue. You said, not much is going on with you for the new year. There is a lot going on with you for the new year.
Tell me.
You need to tell them what you are doing yourself about nutrition. You and your partner in crime.
My other partner in crime. No, stay tuned. Sarah, who a lot of y'all know, or if you don't, she's one of our trainers and a dear friend, who kind of takes on a lot of the nutritionist style role at the studio. And obviously we're all well-versed in just a healthy Hilliard Studio Method signature smoothie wellness lifestyle. But she and I are working on a healthy recipe program that we're going to provide and deliver. If that, spikes your interest and you want to reach out with
I think it does because they're constantly taking your recipes that you put on Instagram
on the gram
for free, and I don't blame them, and that's good. But it's going to be a business sort of
right, and we're going to make it way more rotund and streamlined. Speaking of recipes,
we're going rotund on you through the new year. Yeah,
recipes that will make you feel rotund.
Yeah,
no, more full program, not a diet program, but it's an assistant. We'll figure out exactly how that reads and exactly how that works and exactly how that looks.
Yeah.
But stay tuned.
Yeah. So, so we've got a lot of good things coming up, doing, that's lots of writing going on, lots of you and Sarah doing that.
And writing.
And lots of, I'm doing a lot of writing. That's all I do every day is write all the time. So it's fun. That's actually fun. I realized I had to do some self-talk to myself the other day because I was like, oh God, I got to write this, I got to write that. And then I'm stressing out because I got this deadline for another thing. And I'm like, really? Is that something you really want to stress out about when actually writing is one of the things that makes you feel good?
Right. Well, I mean, I think when you turn writing into deadlines, that's different.
Yeah.
And when you're writing about the same topic for different publications, then that's challenging. But I mean, you do have to keep an eye on what you're doing and why, and what is that really ROI? What is the return on your investment? Are you spinning the wheels, or is that beneficial?
Yeah.
And it's always good to take that back. So with the one thing we talked about, consistency, I think that are you having fun? Is that passion there? Is something to always kind of tap into.
Yeah.
I kind of want to circle back to one thing that we mentioned about something like the Ozempic or whatever version of that. People are taking the diet pills.
The magic pills.
Whatever that is. Like for me, that's Lexapro, like a half small dose that I've been taking a long time. And I think the point that I can correlate with that is like learning that takes that edge off, that like, as my doctor said, the cup doesn't overflow, but it's learning in the meantime how to handle the emotions and the hormones and the stress and not let that be out of control. I haven't been able to take that out of my life. So that's okay.
Which is a good thing.
But when we have, support in whatever way it is, you have to get to the root.
I agree. And that's a very good analogy, because I remember when the Ozempic type drugs came out, and I was reading everything that was so negative, and there's still a lot of negativity, but you also have to look at it just the way you just said that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's giving people a step, like they can get on a level ground. So then they can go, okay, I can actually feel like I could do this. It's just going to be interesting. And we've got a real good friend and client that is doing it. And she talks about it very publicly. And she's saying it's going to be very interesting to see her come off of this drug, to see how her body reacts and see how her mind reacts and her emotions and all of that. So
going way back to one of your baby hacks of, habits that don't feel good and how to change them. For instance, if you're in a sugar habit where you're eating a bunch of cookies, your advice is like half it. If you had 4 cookies, the next night have 2, the next night have 1, then half, then throw that shit away and try to move that way. Same thing, black coffee. Like, why are you drinking coffee and pouring a bunch of junk necessarily in it? Like, don't drink coffee unless you like the taste of coffee, right?
Eat the real food.
Right.
Leave the rest aside.
Right. It's like, what are we using as a crutch? What are we using to get better, right? To improve our performance or to assist us. And that root of how we're functioning, I think, is so important. I mean, it's even everything like facial stuff, hormones.
Yes.
Like, what do we do to our bodies to get us to this level? And then how do we support that through the rest of it?
Yeah. I agree. And get it down to the root of the problem. If you want pretty skin, eat good food. Honestly, that's where it starts. Wash your face.
Drink your water.
Eat your good fats. I mean, these are scientifically proven facts. We can either take them or leave them, or we can spend a lot of money on plastic surgery and cosmetic try things that are going to do certain things for your body, but it's not going to make your skin beautiful and glowing like good nutrition.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's who we are.
Right.
Our bodies are what we eat. Some of the worst things we can put in our body, these deep fried foods, it breaks down the collagen in your I think that might help people. It breaks down the collagen in your skin so that you look older faster.
Right.
And so, whereas, I've talked about this before because it's a big thing for me. Vanity, sometimes you can appeal to a person's vanity much faster.
It's whatever, strikes a chord. I mean, I guess the point being, like, we've all got a crutch somewhere that we use. Then are the other things that we do just like a kick to the crutch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, are we beating our own selves?
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, with everything, it's like going back to the root and the cleanliness of it all and living that
it's really simple stuff.
Caveman lifestyle.
Yeah. It's simple stuff.
Because we just want to feel good.
Yeah.
Enjoy the things we do and enjoy the people like you who we love. Yes. And we had we've had a little break.
And
podcasting, did some reruns. And I mean, we could catch people up on what we've been doing.
We could. Let's do. You want to start?
Sure.
Let's do that. Let's go.
Okay.
So what have we been doing? We had
lots of movie time.
Oh, yeah.
We had lots of some reading time.
Yes.
Some party time.
Yeah, a lot of party time.
Some workout time.
Yeah.
We were in town and everything was good. I mean, I don't know.
I love the holidays.
It was good and simple in here.
It was good and simple in here. And I said to you right before we sat down to podcast, we should have been podcasting during the holidays because we had all that free time.
Yeah, but that's the point of taking a break.
Oh, I know. But to me, honestly, when we podcast, and I know we think about this differently, to me, this is just fun.
Oh, it is.
And so, because people go, how do y'all decide what to talk about or, who to interview or such and such? We will get back to you on that, but we don't, we really just relate. And so this is a lot of fun. So during the holidays, when we were just sort of spending really good quality time together and also with our families, which was great. That just felt really wonderful. I hope everybody else, families aren't always relaxing, but I hope everyone else had their time to be just really downtime. And for us, it's movies. You want to tell them which ones you like the best?
Okay, in order.
Here she goes.
I think for me, Boys in the Boat was number 1.
Was that number 1 for you?
Color Purple was number 2.
Yeah. I'm going to reverse that.
Okay. Ferrari was number 3 and Hunger Games was number 4.
I didn't see that one.
I know. I saw that with my kids. It was excellent. And it was the first, I saw the first, the one out now is a prequel.
Yes.
And so I'm not like a huge fan. It was good. Okay. Your order.
Okay. My order. You have to go. Okay, if you haven't seen, we were with a friend the other night that said, "Oh, I haven't seen The Color Purple." I'm like, how has anybody never seen The Color
Like
Purple?
ever, not the new one.
Ever.
Like ever. Right.
Had never seen the original
or read.
one with, all those people with Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah. And the new one, you got to know that you've already seen the other one. And the new one, be ready, people. It's a great musical. But know that it's a musical. And it is so dynamic and so empowering and chill worthy.
Right.
It is chill worthy. It is so good. So I've got to say that's number one.
And chill as in like chills up your spine.
No, I mean, I'm
chill,
like
laid back.
Well, and this is and I'm just going to call ourselves out. It was me, you, Clary, and her 2 kids. I don't know where your 2 kids were, having fun doing something else, but we're the only white people in the theater. Mm-hmm. And this was the day after Christmas.
That's right.
And
Tuesday.
I loved that in some ways. I mean, I was like, where are my we're the white people. Why are we the only white people? But the crowd in there was really engaged with the film. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, well, yeah. It was like, when Celie comes out and she goes, "Yeah, heck's on you too, you motherfucker," or whatever. Ooh, I said that out loud. But it was like, it's so powerful and strong.
Yeah,
and they were like,
powerful.
They were in it and I was in it.
I know.
That was fun.
Well, and anybody should be. I listened to Taraji P. Henson, who plays Suge Avery in it, who is a main character and a singer, be interviewed. And they were having a discussion about white movies and black movies, right? That I can't believe we even say that.
Is that still a thing? I guess it is. Because we already saw that.
If it's a black actor or a black director,
Color Purple,
primarily black actors, then gets what's said.
Right.
And then white people don't go, and then vice versa. And it's like, I can't believe that even is at issue. But to your point, I mean, we were the only white people in the theater. Yeah. And it's a movie that anyone and everyone should see.
It is about humanity. And I loved it. And it was
in history.
Yeah, in history. But and also history. Your first love, the Boys in the Boat. Don't look it up. Don't find out what it's about. We're not going to tell you. I went in cold. I had no idea.
I kind of knew, but I didn't know
I did not know the history there. I did not know that history. And it's so good. It's finally, Hollywood gave us a feel-good movie.
Right.
It's a feel-good movie.
There was a lot of that. I mean, Color Purple's hard to watch, but it's still, especially taking that
feel-good
into
movie, though, at the end.
Broadway adaptation version of it. Musical was a nice way to do it, I think. Made it more approachable.
Fantasia.
That's rough.
Who lives around here.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Fantasia, to have her if you're listening to this podcast,
are you?
Could you maybe talk to us? Because I read an article in the Times about her and how she was on stage and on Broadway doing this for a while. And then things happened and here she is back and she went through a hard time. And I don't know all the details. That's why you're going to come on with us, Fantasia, and tell us about it. But it took everything when she got the offer to do this from Oprah Winfrey and Steven Spielberg, who both produced this show. She couldn't say no, but she was also going through therapy to get over some of the very issues that are in the movie, The Color Purple. You can imagine. And these are hardcore issues that she was. And so what she did, she let go of her therapist and she had to embrace Celie, who is sexually abused. She's told she's ugly, smacked around every day. Every abusive thing you can do to a woman is done to this woman. Yeah. And the power she brought to that the power of her pain and the power of her triumph that she brought to this film, it was visceral. And I think it was because she was working through that pain. And you could feel it. And you could feel her triumph, her exuberance.
Right.
So wow, North Carolina, thank you. Thank you, Fantasia, for doing that. That was really incredible.
Born with pipes. I mean,
she was
such a powerful, incredible voice. So I hope that movie sees some awards this award season, I think.
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm going to interrupt. I mean,
I know your brain goes a mile a minute.
I'm
but
sorry.
Try to have a conversation.
I'm sorry, but can you imagine the Oscars with Barbie and The Color Purple?
No, so many.
The screens, the dances and everything.
I know. Well, now we can flip to Maestro because that was on Netflix. We didn't see it in the theater.
Cool.
Whoa.
Cool.
So that's the biopic of Leonard Bernstein, his wife.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And it's very musically heavy, obviously. And it's interesting that in the front half of the film, I found it more artistic and kind of hard to stay with. It was incredibly well done start to finish, but it's like his life is kind of playing out with the music. And then the second half for me was a little more linear. That's how my brain
Well, it was
works.
also in black. It was also in color.
Well, true. Like once color. Yeah.
So
it was like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Right. Which was very cool. And I just thought that was very powerful. I thought the acting and Bradley Cooper is astounding in everything he does, but directed it. I think he practiced for the role for 6 years.
Well, he conducted the very end of the movie. I can't remember which movement it is.
Sure.
It's the fifth movement of some great composer. I was driving back from Winston-Salem after I was up there visiting that Hilliard Studio Method. And sometimes I need classical music to just sort of center me down and calm me down. And so I was listening and they go, by the way, the next movement is going to be by the actor Bradley Cooper, who for 6 years worked with the conductor of this orchestra, the Philharmonic Orchestra,
Right.
to learn to conduct this one scene. And so
incredible.
They were playing that. And I was sitting there just chills coming up and down my spine.
Right.
It's so good.
It is so good. The culmination of that movie is really mind-blowing, breathtaking. He and Carey Mulligan, who play his wife in the movie, and there's a lot in that story of them. But that was incredible. So we saw our movies.
We did.
And partied. We're ready.
We did. Can I just say one more thing about him? Because everyone may or may not know that Leonard Bernstein was gay. And I don't think that's given away anything in the plot. I think that's just common knowledge. But it brought home to me, and I think you too, that even 20 years ago, or really 20 years ago, being out in society.
Well, that wasn't the 2000s.
No, I know that. But
but even 20
I've
years
lived
ago.
through all those years.
Sure.
I've lived through the 60s, 70s. I was a little girl, granted, but
right.
I remember even feeling like my aunt would say, well, he's a little light in the loafers. I was like, what does that mean? And, there was no tolerance for same-sex relationships, zero. And you could literally be fired, persecuted, put in jail, all those things. It just sort of really rocked me a little bit going, wow, I've lived so many lifetimes and I've been there and now I'm here and the fortunate life we have.
Absolutely. I mean, I think just this year, hey, gratitude that we get to live our love out loud.
Yeah.
And that I just pray for that for everybody else, that not even, love that is, for some people, same-sex scandalous or whatever it is, not even like hard to attain love or for some people, illegal love, but just any love that's hard.
Just love. And I think our society just always hangs on a precipice of complete intolerance of it. I mean, there's just that intolerance of it in many corners of our society, and just holding the line for all of us. I mean, when you think you're holding the line for your gay or your whatever brothers and sisters, you're holding the line for yourself. And that's just saying it's not even about tolerance. It's just about love. It's about
acceptance.
Loving and accepting other human beings for who they are, no matter who they are. And so, I always feel like we're just sort of on that sort of edge always. But wow, what a beautiful life we are living at this moment.
100%.
So,
I mean, if you don't want to be gay or don't like gays, don't be
gay.
You're not for abortion. Don't have one. I mean, it is all those things that if we love one another and love ourselves, then we're going to go a long way.
Lee and I are not influencing anyone to be gay. I think that's so funny. I just think that's so funny that people think you could do that. That like
no. I mean, I do think we influence people to.
Has that been around gay?
Not be gay, but to be true to themselves,
right,
and to have a love that brings them.
So if you guys show up gay, it's not our fault. No, but
Waiver.
yeah, you will sign that waiver. We're going to start putting that on the Hilliard Studio.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, but yeah, that's all good points. All
Yeah.
good points. So yeah, I think going into 2024 I'm full of gratitude.
Same.
And
Full of love.
the more full of gratitude and love we are, the more we push that forward, and the more you all push it forward for all of us. So if we go forward with that, hell, we can do anything.
Golden.
We are golden.
Whee!
Yeah. So,
all right. Well, I love you.
I love you.
It was fun to get back on. And we will have a lot of fun in store this year. Thanks, y'all, for listening. If you could please subscribe. There's an Apple update that paused some subscriptions. So unpause it. Unpause it.
And that's up in the upper right corner.
Yeah, it's good.
I know where these things are.
Good.
Now.
Share it. Subscribe it. If you liked it, 5 stars.
It does make a difference, not only to you, because you listen to us, and thank you for doing that, but really to us too. It makes a big difference. So if you all would do that, share it, or really star it. And we only like 5, right? We don't really like less than 5.
5's great.
5's good.
Thank you.
And subscribe.
Thanks, y'all. Have a great day. I love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.